Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. Of course, we have another issue because we can't have more than one normal no-issue trial day in a row. So I have an email from one of the jurors this morning. Interestingly, he sent 2 different drafts of it. The first says, it's to my assistant. When you have a moment, please relay this to the judge. Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks.
Wow. Shout out to the juror. Yo, this juror just said Miss Hilton is trash. Did y'all hear that? Let me run it back because Judge Whitaker is clearly annoyed with this. And I don't blame her because I'm annoyed with the jury too. I am not team juror. I'm not team jury. I cannot stand this jury. They're terrible because they had an opportunity to end this entire thing back when Lil Woody was on the stand and Judge Glanville had the whole ex parte meeting and Judge Whitaker brought them back. Y'all know. And she said, hey, can y'all disregard Lil Woody's testimony? All that took place during these 3 days. And they said, yeah, sure, we can. Nope. Y'all should have got out while you had the chance. Now, don't complain now. It's too late. They said Hilton's garbage.
Of course, we have another issue because
this is crazy.
Can't have more than one normal no-issue trial day in a row. So I have an email from one of the jurors this morning. Interestingly, he sent 2 different drafts of it.
Wow.
The first says, it's to my assistant. When you have a moment, please relay this to the judge. Good morning, Judge Whitaker. I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I can no longer be unbiased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. But then that's not what he really meant to send, because he said, I didn't mean to send this version, not the other one, with a minor correction. Hope all is well. When you have a moment, can you relay this email to the judge? Good morning, Judge Whitaker.
That's funny.
I am requesting to be removed from the current case due to the length of this trial and how the state has handled this case. I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. Thanks. Now, this is the same juror who a few months back asked to be removed from the case and provided no reason whatsoever. And so I just ignored it. I just said, no, you're not removed. Doesn't work that way.
He's speaking major facts.
And so I think this is just a ploy to get off of a case that he's sick of being on because it's taking up his time.
No, now hold on a second. Judge Whitaker, Doug Weinstein mentioned yesterday your complete outrage with Detective Dennis when he got up on the stand and he almost caused the first mistrial. Then we've got the state that brought up Winnie Lee and he freed about 4 of them boys and almost caused the mistrial. So don't act like there's nothing going on and this juror isn't speaking straight facts. Come on, Judge Whitaker. Don't be disingenuous and act like the state's been doing their job. We all know they're garbage. He said, I saw Hilton yesterday and I saw Mr. Kappa Kappa over there. Shout out to Atkins. The jury just had enough. Well, we're with you.
Obviously, we can have him out and privately, not with the other jurors around, and ask whatever questions we want of him.
Doug is loving this. Look at him.
Willing to hear what anybody
Doug
has to
said,
say
well,
about it.
he's right. This is hilarious.
I don't know from the court's perspective if this would be appropriate, but I would have no objection to informing this juror that it might not be 3 to 6 months. And I think it might not be 3 to 6 months or whatever he said. And I think that is accurate and honest at this point.
I mean, I think it would be fair to say we have no expectation that it'll be another 3 to 6 months.
In Your Honor, we understand that he said that he is biased
Towards any decisions, whatever that means.
right, but
That means he's a juror.
specifically talked about the state and how the state is cleaning up its case. So therefore, the state would have some concern with the juror not being able to remain fair and impartial, given what his language was. He didn't say to either side. He said specifically to the state.
No, he didn't. He said, I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. And frankly, you have to start a case unbiased, but as you listen to the evidence, as long as you don't deliberate with anybody, you can mull the evidence in your own mind. And
That's a good
frankly,
point.
if y'all are presenting the case in a way that is driving a juror crazy, that's on you.
No, Jay. Ah. Oh man, who is your favorite? Who's your favorite Judge Whitaker? Is it Judge Monday Whitaker or is it Judge Tuesday Whitaker? I don't know at this point. Yo, this is crazy. She said, if you're driving the jury nuts because y'all don't know how to present a case, that's all you. Oh my God.
He didn't say to either
I
side.
cannot believe she's saying this in
No,
open
he
court.
didn't. He said, I will be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Yesterday provided a glimpse of how the state presented its evidence, and I foresee another 3 to 6 months with the remaining defendants. And frankly, you have to start a case unbiased, but as you listen to the evidence, as long as you don't deliberate with anybody, you can mull the evidence in your own mind. And frankly, if y'all are presenting the case in a way that is driving a juror crazy, that's on you.
And I understand that, but if he is,
Wow.
it appears that he is, his thoughts at this point is that he, and maybe that's what we need to ask him, whether or not he is still, he still be fair and impartial. So we would like to watch everything outside of the.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly
Dang.
think that would be appropriate.
Now, okay, we got to talk about this, and I'm so glad Amy brought this up. Judge Whitaker is saying she's not going to remove this juror, right? Now, we know it's going to take a certain amount of jurors to get a guilty verdict if it comes down to this. Amy makes a great point when she says, damn, I smell not guilty. Now I'm mad that folks took a plea for real. We talked about this all last week. Congratulations to Thug, and I was happy he got out, but I said, but could he have waited? Could he have made it to the end? And I think this was Brian Steele and Papa Thug were trying to say, man, you should have held out. You should have let this go to the end of the trial, because the state, they have been and they are losing this case. Now, do you want to leave your fate in the hands of Judge Whitaker or the jury? It's kind of tough, and it's a hard decision to make. And Thug, he got somewhat of a favorable deal as long as he can keep his nose clean, but he's going to have that felony, and that felony's not going away. I'm never going to tell anybody to stay in jail. But man, it makes you wonder what would have happened, especially if we get to the end of this thing and we get a not guilty. This is going to be one of those defining moments where we heard from the jurors saying, hey, listen, the state is trash and there is no way I'm going to be able to look at what they're presenting and make sense of it. So just so y'all know, I'm ready to go because I'm already saying the state doesn't have a case. But if you want to keep me here and I'll enter my not guilty verdict, that's fine. Sheesh. This is crazy. Dennis said it. You just need one to hold out. And
So,
that juror is like, you're not getting a guilty verdict.
Language that we give about needing to decide the case based on the evidence. So once I find that, we'll get him out, and y'all can ask whatever questions you want.
And when that is complete, Your Honor, before we bring the whole jury out, I just want to say something to the court, put something briefly on the record. That can
Okay,
wait
about
till after
this or something else?
Something else. It can wait.
Okay.
Thank you.
Man. I mean, is it possible? I got to look at his appeal again. I got to see if it's possible for them, or not his appeal, his plea. If it's possible for him to appeal this. But if I remember right, with the non-negotiated plea, like that's it. There's no going back. This is crazy. And thank y'all for the super chats. I'll be reading them throughout the show. I'm going to pull this up over here and do some research. But from what I understand or remember, like that's it. And let's skip ahead through this. Also, thank you for the 5 bomb. Ms. Birch says the juror is speaking facts. He or they said, I'm tired of looking at the state making a complete fool of themselves, but the corruption continues to help us for real, for real. Yeah, you're 1000% correct. They're just making it easy. It's crazy. All right, let's skip ahead here.
Decisions moving forward, is that because? So I am in receipt.
Here we go.
To get that juror up. Can we get juror number 56 out, please?
Oh, so it's juror number 56 is the one. So now we know the culprit.
Good morning. Good morning. So I am in receipt of
It's a dude.
Correspondence from you this morning. And
He said, good morning.
I'm actually in receipt of both versions of it because you sent one and then you adjusted it. And my assistant had already sent that one to me. So I have both.
It's Thugger
and
Daily.
You seem to be expressing concerns about the length of the trial. And I've discussed that with all of the attorneys, and we all feel comfortable representing that there is really, it's almost certain that this trial will be over far before 3 to 6 months have elapsed. I think it is probable that it will be over before the end of this year. So I'd like to find out whether that assuages any of your concerns.
No.
Given that you said probable, then I'll keep it as is, but I will, if it prolongs, then I will send out correspondence and it goes into 2025.
All right. Let me ask you as well. You said that first you said you could no longer be unbiased, and then you said that you would be biased towards any decisions moving forward. Is that because of your worries about how long the case might take?
Yes.
Okay.
I projected it when we first began this entire case, we were projected to be in, 6 months, and then to a year.
Yeah.
And then given the circumstances in between, I just feel like it's just too long.
Yeah.
I love what I do for a living. I miss what I do.
Yeah.
And it's been hindering a lot of things with family and friends. And
Yeah.
things. And so since you used probable in the sentence, and so therefore I can if you're assuring that this will probably go for the 2024 year, then therefore I can still stay on board.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of other things as well. I know that you were instructed with some version of entering the case and considering the evidence
This is crazy.
with an open mind and not reaching any final conclusions until the trial is over with. Can you continue to assess the evidence with an open mind?
No.
Given the information that we've just discussed, and yes, I can.
All right.
Oh, these jerks. Why? Why? Look over at that bench and say, Judge Whitaker, see that one that had that horrific suit on yesterday? You see the one next to him? Mr. Kappa Kappa. You see the other one over there? The one that's been going back and forth with Miss Love. Those three right there, there is no way in the world I could see all the evidence in the world and I could be unbiased against those three. They have made a mockery of Fulton County. They made a mockery of the justice system. And what I'm seeing here has made me lose absolute and total faith in this justice system because of them sitting right over there. So Judge Whitaker, I'm sorry. I don't feel like I could. Come on, man.
You continue to assess the evidence with an open mind?
No.
Given the information
Like how do you not answer that question with a no? And we heard his email. Listen to what she asked him. Oh, these jurors are garbage.
Yeah.
I can't stand the jury.
used probable in the sentence, and so therefore I can if you're assuring that this will probably go for the 2024 year, then therefore I can still
Listen to this question.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of other things as well. I know that you were instructed with some version of entering the case and considering the evidence with an open mind and not reaching any final conclusions until the trial is over with. Can you continue to assess the evidence with an open mind?
Can you continue to assess the evidence with an open mind? Just say no. Say no. He said, oh, well, Judge, I wrote that email and, I guess I really didn't mean it. Yeah, sure. I can use an open mind. I get it. People get in court and they don't want to get locked up and he's sitting there in front of a judge and all these people looking at him. But God dang, just say no. Just be honest. No, I can't do that. I told you in my email. I have zero faith in the state's ability to present this evidence. And what I've seen so far, this whole thing has been a mess.
Given the information that we discussed, and yes, I can.
All right. Okay. And can
And this
you
dude
decide
said,
this case
yes.
based only on the evidence that is presented in the law that I give you and not on whether you like or dislike anybody's presentation style?
Since you work that way, then yes, I can go along with that.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right. Do any of the attorneys have questions for this juror?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right.
I do not.
And Judge Whitaker even
All right.
tried
Thank you very
to
much.
help him out. She said, hey, listen, I know they suck. Listen, I've been telling them they're garbage. And we almost had a mistrial. I told them I've been trying to clean up their mess. I get it. But can you disregard all of that? Like, can we just move forward? I'd be like, man. Just Whitaker. I was watching YouTube, even though I wasn't supposed to. And I saw you go off on them. No, I can't do it. Now he is lying. Thank you, Michi. 56 is lying. His verdict is not guilty. Carry on, first witness, please. Like, get this man out of here. Jeez,
Case
dude.
based only on the evidence that is presented.
You have one job.
And the law that I give you, and not on whether you like or dislike anybody's presentation style.
Since you work that way, then yes, I can go along with that.
All right.
Shooting for 2024, just to be.
All right. Do any of the attorneys have questions for this juror?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right.
I do not.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll excuse you to the jury room, and we'll have y'all all back in just a minute. Thank you.
Fulton County, we got to do better. 56, how dare you? I'm getting
Anything
56
further about
on the
that
channel.
issue before we move on?
And I'm going to roast that dude. I can't
thank you.
believe you, 56.
Just briefly, Your Honor, I became aware last night after I got home that my request to the court to show the jury to pass around the bottles of the liquid, that was not an intention for them to take a shot from those bottles.
You did say sample.
I did say sample, so I guess a lawyer, which I suppose I am, would say I inartfully worded that, but that was not my intention. I just wanted them to be able to look at the labels, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I understand. The jury got a kick out of it. It was a little bit of levity. So, I didn't know if maybe you had said it on purpose for that very reason.
I'd left my shot glasses
No,
at home.
I didn't think you were actually wanting to give them samples, but I had to deny that in the way that it was phrased. So, okay, no problem with that. All right, is there any
56
other matter
needs to stand
before
on
we,
business, Kel Bell.
get the jury out to start our
Dang.
testimony for the day?
What a
Okay, and
joke.
who's our first witness for the day going to be? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get the jury out, and you can have that witness be making their way up to the witness stand.
Judge Whitaker has given this jury so many chances. What are they doing? Yeah. Oh, A Fitz for sure. And A Fitz makes a great point. She says, there are 6 alternate jurors. The trial would not stop if the juror was dismissed. Yes, but if he wants to get out, like he said in his email, get the out. Just get out. And then we'll knock them off one by one by one.